Jill here, Special Needs Mom Talks. Talking about the expectations that we hold our loved ones with some level of special need to, that often we don't even really adhere to ourselves, and how confusing and just, confusing and frustrating and wrong that kind of is societally, personally. If we're doing a behavior that they're not allowed to do, or having some substance, some food, some experience that they're not allowed to participate in, but they're supposed to walk around like it doesn't matter, like they don't notice that everyone around them is participating in said behavior, said adult quote unquote behavior, but somehow they're unable to do it. I don't even know what that feels like, and these are people that often are on multiple medications, have challenges to understanding our ways of being in cognitive challenges. And we're asking them to just kind of not talk about this, pull themselves away from wanting what it is that we just get to freely have and have access to, and take for granted, getting up in the morning, having a cup of coffee, just a simple thing like that might be restricted for someone that with special needs that can't have caffeine. And there's substitutes and whatnot. That's not a very good example. Say alcohol, for instance. They're not supposed to have alcohol. They're on a bunch of medications. They're socializing. Everybody around them in their family, they've got alcohol. There's alcohol in the fridge. And they're not supposed to have it. And they see it's an adult thing and they want to participate, and we can't let them. And there's there's not a lot of gray areas. There's not a coach that can be with them and walk them through that. So what do? We just push it away. We don't talk about it like everything else. We assume that somehow there's something that works out in their head so they completely understand it and accept it, that they can't have said this or that or have this experience, and march along. And we wonder when behaviors come up, are they self-sabotage? Are they adaptive? Are they adaptive based on what they're seeing and learning and taking in and their own level of functioning? It's a complicated question, and I don't have the answer. All I can say is that the more I pay attention to what's behind the behaviors, the experience, personally myself, from looking at myself and my own craziness and working through trauma, integrating it and whatnot, and then realizing that it's the same for the offspring that I'm caregiving for. They have their traumas and they have their lived experience, and that's all filtering in to what was it I was saying? Oh gosh, I'm losing my train of thought, but I think you guys get it. I think you get it. Be aware, just kind of know like what you get to do that's just second nature, knee jerk, that they just can't access. I just got in my car, I walked away from my house, and I went to do a few errands. And, my kids are over 21 and they're not able to drive. So how fair is that? I can't always offer to take them with me or whatnot. And it's just these little things day after day over time that build up, and it's hard to look away from. I think we need to make room for everybody in our society, no matter whether they can or can't do, have a way that they can have these experiences and have access to whatever it is that we just take for granted. And yeah, I'm kind of losing my train of thought, but I thought that was worth sharing, and, really wondering whether the behaviors that sometimes are exhibited are actually self-betrayal or adaptation. Food for thought.